All right. Ready to dive into the world of drones.
Sounds good.
You know, those unmanned aerial vehicles
Yeah.
that seem to be everywhere these days.
Everywhere you look.
We've got a Wikipedia article all about how the military's using them.
Okay.
And then this piece from Al Jazeera about some seriously strange drone sightings.
Oh, yeah.
Right here in the U.S.
Wow.
From battlefields to backyards.
Uh-huh. That's good.
It's going to get interesting.
You know, it is wild how drones have become like this symbol of military power, but then also kind of unsettling, like this New Jersey thing.
It's like I was looking at this Wikipedia article, and just back in 2014, the U.S. military had over 10,000 drones. Like, how many more do they have now?
That's crazy.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
How did we even get here?
Right.
It feels like drones went from kind of niche surveillance to full-on weapons almost overnight.
Well, I mean, it's been a pretty rapid change. Remember, the first armed drone strike was all the way back in 2001 in Afghanistan, and the CIA was actually controlling those early UAVs.
Huh.
But since then, man, things have really escalated.
Oh, for sure.
This Wikipedia article, it mentions this military classification system.
Right, yeah.
It's called the tier system.
The tier system?
Yeah, and it's basically, you know, it's a way to categorize them based on size and capabilities.
Okay, so the purpose.
Okay.
Break it down for us.
All right, so imagine this.
Okay.
Tier 1, right?
Yeah.
Those are like your scouts. They're small. They're nimble.
Yeah.
Perfect for quick recon.
So basically
on like your eyes and ears on the ground, giving you real-time intel.
Okay.
Now, you've got Tier 2.
Right.
And this is where it starts to get a little more intense.
Okay.
So we're talking drones, like the MQ-1 Predator.
Okay.
Or the RQ-7 Shadow. These aren't just watching anymore. They're involved in targeting and even attacks.
So that's where we cross the line from surveillance to like offensive operations.
And then there's Tier 3.
All right, Tier 3.
The big guns. These are the heavy hitters.
Okay.
Like the MQ-9 Reaper.
The Reaper, yeah.
Which is essentially a flying tank, right?
A flying tank, wow.
It can carry tons of weapons. It can stay in the air way longer than the smaller drones. Operates at much higher altitudes.
Oh, wow.
This is what you hear about.
Right.
In those controversial targeted strikes.
Yeah.
Afghanistan, Pakistan.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of disturbing to think about, you know, like a machine controlled by someone thousands of miles away, having that kind of impact on people.
Yeah.
And the article talks about how, you know, the U.S. military has used them extensively in the war on terror, which raises a whole host of questions.
Oh, absolutely.
Ethical questions, legal questions.
I mean, on the one hand, the people who are for drone warfare, they argue they're more precise. They minimize civilian casualties.
Right, okay.
Compared to, you know, just bombing.
Right.
But when you really look at it, the reality is much more complicated.
Yeah, the article mentions that. Back in 2010, the estimates were that almost a quarter of all drone strike victims were civilians.
That's heavy.
And I keep thinking about the psychological impact this kind of warfare has.
Totally.
Not just on the people, you know, on the ground, but on the drone operators, too.
For sure.
Yeah, it really makes you think about the long-term consequences. You know?
Absolutely.
But speaking of unintended consequences, we've got this whole other drone situation happening right here in New Jersey.
Right, yeah.
And it's like straight out of a sci-fi thriller.
This Al Jazeera piece about the unexplained drone sighting.
Yeah.
What gets me is just how strange it all is.
It's so bizarre.
You know, you have weird drones appearing near sensitive locations. Officials are saying different things, and everyone's got a theory.
So, dozens of drones, some as big as cars, showing up at night, buzzing around, military facilities, Trump's golf course. It's crazy.
It seems like they're trying to avoid being seen.
Right.
Like flying at night, sometimes with their lights off. Like they don't want to be found.
It's creepy.
It says they can fly for 6 or 7 hours straight and cover over 15 miles.
That's not some kid with a toy.
No, not at all.
It's serious.
This is actually like sophisticated tech, planned out movements. And no one in charge is saying anything.
Yeah.
It's enough to make you paranoid.
Right. Well, Congressman Van Drew,
yeah,
he seems to think it's Iran.
Really?
He's even saying there's like a
wow,
a mothership.
A mothership?
Off the coast launching these things. But the Pentagon, they've denied that. So
who knows? I mean, that's what makes this so interesting, right? Is that no one knows anything. So people come up with their own theories. The article mentions everything.
Chinese surveillance. I'm sure some people think it's aliens.
Aliens,
or the government doing experiments.
Of course.
But until we get some real answers, it's all just guesses.
Speculation.
It's like we're all armchair detectives trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the FBI is asking for help.
Really?
They want people to send
wow.
photos and videos.
That's interesting.
Anything that could help them identify these drones.
So they're
it's like we're all part of this investigation now.
That's wild.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
And you know what I find interesting?
What's that?
Is how this connects to this larger trend of all these unidentified objects in U.S. airspace.
You remember that Chinese surveillance balloon?
Oh, yeah.
A few months back?
That was wild.
That was crazy.
So this isn't the first time we've had these mysterious visitors.
It makes you wonder what else is out there that we don't even know about.
Like, it really challenges our assumptions about airspace security.
For sure.
We tend to think of drones as relatively small, short range.
Right.
But what if that's changing?
What if?
What if the technology is way more advanced than we realize?
And we're just starting to see the effects.
Okay, so let's go back to what we were talking about before with the military drones.
Right.
The Wikipedia article goes into a lot of detail about the different tiers, their capabilities, how they're used. Do you think there's anything in there that could help explain what we're seeing in New Jersey?
I mean, you mentioned the long flight times, the distances they can cover, flying at night, avoiding radar. That all suggests a level of sophistication that's not your typical hobby drone. In fact, some of that stuff sounds like
those advanced military drones.
So are we talking like a secret military operation gone wrong?
Possibly.
Or maybe another country testing out their tech?
Yeah, it's possible.
In our backyard.
But we got to be careful about jumping to conclusions.
Right.
This technology is changing so fast. What was once like top secret military tech might be available now to others. Anyone.
It could be governments, corporations, even individuals with enough resources.
It could be anyone. That's both intriguing and terrifying.
It really is.
It's like the Wild West, but with drones.
Instead of cowboys?
Nobody knows who's who or what they want.
It brings us to a really important point. This whole drone thing, whether it's the military stuff or these unexplained sightings, it forces us to face this new reality. We're in a time when technology is getting more powerful, more accessible. And the lines between warfare, surveillance, and just everyday life are getting blurry.
Are you saying this New Jersey case could be a glimpse into the future where drones are everywhere doing all sorts of things and we have no idea who's controlling them?
Exactly. It's a possibility.
It's a scary thought.
We have to think about it.
It raises a lot of questions. Ethical, legal.
Big time.
How do we make sure people are held accountable when they're anonymous?
It's tough.
How do we protect our privacy?
Exactly.
When drones can watch us all the time?
That's a good question.
How do we prevent this technology from being used for bad things?
For harm.
It feels like this is bigger.
I think so too.
Than just weird lights in the sky.
Way bigger.
This is about the future of our society, whether we can adapt to these changes without losing control.
And that's why it's so important to have these conversations, to engage with these issues, to not just ignore it. Because this is happening right now.
It's happening here.
It is.
And it could affect us all.
In huge ways.
You've given me a lot to think about.
I'm glad.
I feel like we need to take a step back and really unpack the ethical implications.
Absolutely.
I mean, we talked about civilian casualties in drone warfare.
Right.
But what about the psychological impact on the operators.
Right.
And the fact that this technology makes it easier to detach from the human cost of war.
Yeah.
And what about privacy?
Exactly.
With all this drone surveillance.
These are
huge issues.
They are.
We can't ignore them.
We can't.
You're right.
And there are no easy answers.
It's true.
But that's why it's so important to keep asking the hard questions.
Yeah.
To push for transparency and accountability, to keep talking about it. Because in the end, the future of drones and how they fit into society is something that affects us all.
Absolutely.
We all have a step there.
So let's go back to the New Jersey mystery.
Okay.
We talked about the speculation, the unanswered questions.
Yeah.
But what are the facts?
The facts.
Can we sum up what makes these drones so unusual and so concerning?
Let's recap. What makes these stand out?
Let's see.
First, their size.
Yeah.
A lot of people say they're way bigger than your average hobby drone.
Yeah.
Some even say they're like the size of a small car.
That's not a hobby drone.
Yeah.
That's something else.
And the article says they can stay up there for a really long time.
6 or 7 hours.
6, 7 hours.
It can cover over 15 miles.
Over 15 miles. That suggests a really advanced power source navigation system.
You're not going to find that at the mall?
Not at the mall, no.
And then there's the fact that they fly at night.
Mostly at night.
With their lights off.
Often with their lights off.
That's the part that really creeps me out.
It's like
they don't want to be seen.
They're trying to
avoid detection.
Which is not how most drone operators behave.
It's very different.
And then on top of that, the article says they seem to be able to avoid radar.
Avoid radar, wow.
Which implies a level of technology that's really unsettling.
Especially when we don't know who's doing it.
Or why.
Exactly.
So we've got large drones, long range, operating in the dark, designed to avoid detection, flying over sensitive locations.
Right.
And no wonder people are freaking out.
I mean, it does sound like a science fiction movie.
It does.
Yeah.
But but
it's real.
It's happening.
It's happening right now.
And it shows how drone technology is blurring the lines between what we thought was possible and what's actually happening.
All right, so we've got this mix.
We do.
Of military might, technological mystery.
Yeah.
Public uncertainty.
Big time.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah. Well, honestly, this deep dive has given us more questions.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And answers.
It's like peeling back the layers.
It is.
And every layer reveals something new.
And often unexpected.
Totally unexpected.
Exactly.
And that's what's so cool about it.
It is. Right. The more we learn, the more we realize how much more there is to learn.
Explore. And that's the power.
It is.
Of these deep dives.
Yeah.
They help us
connect the dots.
See the bigger picture.
Right.
And engage with the forces shaping our world. Even when those forces are as elusive and enigmatic as those drones. Over New Jersey.
For sure.
Speaking of which, I have one final thought.
Okay, go for it.
It's a little provocative.
Well, I love it.
What if those New Jersey drones turn out to be something completely beyond our current understanding?
Wow. Okay.
Of technology and purpose.
What if
they represent a new form of exploration or even a new way of interacting with the world?
That's a good one.
That we haven't even thought of yet.
It's a reminder that we should always be open
to the unknown.
To the unknown.
Right. Even as we try to make sense of the world around us.
Totally.
So as we wrap up this episode, I want to encourage everyone listening to stay curious.
Yes.
To keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
And to never stop asking questions.
Good advice.
Because the more we learn, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this increasingly complex and rapidly changing world.
It's changing fast.
And if you have any thoughts or theories about the New Jersey drones, even if they seem far-fetched, We want to hear them.
We do.
Share them with us.
On social media.
On social media, on our website.
Our website.
Wherever you connect with the deep dive.
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Trying to unravel the mystery
of the universe.
Of the universe.
Yeah.
One deep dive at a time.
A deep dive at a time.
I love that collective curiosity.
That's right.
It's like we're all in this giant global brainstorming session.
Right.
Trying to figure out what's going on. What is going on.
We take a bunch of sources.
Yep.
Toss them in the mental blender.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
See what kind of smoothie we get.
What kind of smoothie do we get?
And this one is...
This one's a weird one.
A pretty mind-bending smoothie.
It is.
We've gone from battlefields to the suburbs.
Yeah.
All thanks to this tiny piece of technology that's changing the world.
It's changing everything.
It's fascinating how drones have become this kind of Rorschach test.
Like that.
They reflect our hopes and fears.
It's true.
About the future technology, our place in the universe.
Totally.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
For some people, drones are progress.
Yeah.
Innovation.
The next frontier.
The next frontier.
Ingenuity.
But for others, they represent surveillance, warfare, a dystopian future.
It's like that Black Mirror episode.
Totally.
You know?
Machines are in control.
Yeah, it's scary.
And what's so interesting about this New Jersey thing is that it taps into both of those narratives.
Both sides.
It's thrilling and terrifying.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
It's like we're on the edge.
We are.
Of a technological revolution. And we don't know if it's going to liberate us or enslave us.
It's a good way to put it.
And that uncertainty is what makes it so important to stay informed.
Ask questions.
Ask questions.
Think critically.
Be critical.
Because as we've seen with both military drones and these mystery drones, the implications are huge.
They are.
We're talking about warfare, privacy, security, the very nature of human autonomy. And these aren't just abstract debates. These are real world challenges that we need to deal with right now.
Right now.
Right now. So to everyone listening, don't just passively consume the news.
Don't just sit there.
Become active participants.
Get involved.
In the conversation.
Do your own research.
Absolutely.
Challenge assumptions.
Question everything.
Demand transparency. From those in power.
They work for us.
Because ultimately, the future of drone technology and how it impacts our lives will be shaped by the choices we make.
By the choices we make today.
So today.
Well said.
Well said.
Thanks.
Okay. Before we sign off, I want to go back to something we talked about earlier.
Right.
That idea of the democratization of technology.
Right.
It's this double-edged sword.
It is.
On the one hand, it's amazing that powerful tools like drones are becoming
more accessible.
More accessible.
Everyone.
It opens up all sorts of possibilities for innovation and creativity.
Creativity,
Imagine using a drone to deliver medicine to remote villages.
That's a good one.
To inspect bridges for damage. To create stunning aerial photography.
Beautiful shots.
But the flip side is that the same technology that can be used for good can also be used
for harm.
For harm.
That's the tough part.
And that's what's so unsettling about these New Jersey drones. We don't know who's behind them.
Nope.
What their motives are.
No idea.
Or what they're capable of.
Exactly.
It's a reminder.
It is.
That as technology gets more powerful. And more widespread. The potential for misuse grows too.
It does.
So how do we balance the benefits of innovation with the risks?
The risks,
How do we make sure?
How do we ensure?
Drones are used responsibly. Ethically.
That's
the million-dollar question.
Million-dollar question.
And it's one
it is.
We need to figure out together. I think a big part of it is education.
Education's huge.
We need to make sure people understand how this technology works.
How it works.
What it can be used for. And the ethical implications.
The ethics are important.
Absolutely.
We need to have
open and honest conversations.
The trade-offs.
The trade-offs,
The risks and the rewards.
Right.
And we need to empower people to make informed decisions.
Informed choices.
About how they interact with this technology.
How they use it.
Because ultimately, it's not just about the technology itself.
No.
It's about the choices we make.
The choices.
The values we prioritize.
Our values.
And the kind of future.
The future.
I want to create.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot today.
We have.
We've explored
military drones.
Military drones. The New Jersey mystery.
The mystery.
And wrestled with the ethical complexity.
It's complicated.
Of this technology.
It is.
But before we wrap up,
I
want to leave you with one final thought.
One last thing.
Something to think about.
I'm ready.
Remember those drones hovering over New Jersey?
The mysterious ones.
The ones we couldn't explain.
Right.
What if they're a sign
of what?
Of something bigger?
Okay.
What if they're a harbinger?
A harbinger.
Of a future where the line between the physical world and the digital world becomes blurred.
Interesting.
A future where our skies are filled with autonomous machines doing things we can barely comprehend.
It's both exciting and...
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's both exciting and unsettling.
Yeah.
It's a future full of potential,
but also full of risk.
Full of risk.
It is.
And it's a future that's being shaped
right now.
Right now.
Yes.
By the decisions we make.
Our choices.
The technologies we develop.
Yeah.
The conversations we have.
And conversations.
So let's make sure we're having the right conversation.
The right one.
Let's engage with these issues thoughtfully.
Thoughtfully.
Critically.
Critically, yeah.
Let's demand transparency.
And accountability.
Accountability, yeah.
From those in power.
It's important.
And let's never stop.
Let's never stop.
Exploring.
Questioning and imagining.
Imagining the possibility.
Because the future is not something that happens to us.
It's not predetermined.
It's something.
It's something
we create.
Or we make it.
And that's a great note to end on.
I like that.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for listening.
On this deep dive into the world of drones.
Into the world of drones.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.
Stay curious.
And keep your eyes on the skies.
You never know what you might see.